The Berg is one of those discs you either love or you hate.
I love it!
It's known for its consistent and slow flight. These discs tend to beat into dead straight flyers, and were never intended to be that super overstable approach slot. All you Berg lovers rejoice, because the beefy Berg is officially here.
Today, we are at Mount Pisgah Park. It's a 9-hole course in York, Pennsylvania, and we're gonna be throwing this, the brand new Berg X, the slightly more stable version of the ever so loved Berg. We're mainly gonna be throwing this off the tee, but we are gonna mix in this old K1 soft Berg that I have, just to compare the two flights. Really excited to throw this thing. We've got some tricky holes out here, so should be fun. We're going with the Berg X to start. Oh, that's stable for a Berg. Kind of early released it. That flew nice. All right, let's throw the K1 soft Berg as a comparison. Wow, that so much straighter, so much more turn. It's a much better shot because I actually threw it where I wanted, but even after just one throw, I can already tell that this Berg X is a good bit more stable than the traditional K1 soft Bergs. I'm gonna like this disc. So we're probably about 90 feet away from this basket or so. This is exactly what the Berg is made for. It's so interesting because between the two discs, they really feel practically identical. The only difference is there's almost like a little bit of a ridge on the Berg X that you can't really even see on camera. It's more of a feel thing. It's hard to see in person too, where the original Berg is a bit smoother on the rim. It's a bit more seamless, and this one there's a bit of a ridge. So hole 2, we got an uphill crush for these Bergs. It's gonna be a little bit of a difficult one. Berg X first. Wow, that is stable. Oh, that's awesome. Regular Berg, just to compare. Still stable, but so much straighter. Ooh. I'm gonna try and put it on a little bit of anhyzer so you can maybe see how stable this thing actually is. Look at it fight out of that. Wow-wee. That disc is awesome. I'm gonna just give it a little half bit up here. Ooh, kiss that tree. Right up there. Kind of yanked that one, but we're about like 90 feet short, probably. It's right up the hill. Oh, well, I left that really short. This next hole is a long par 4, all the way up the gap here, uphill. Definitely not a hole that's made for this disc, but we're gonna try and par it at least. Woo! It's a whole 150 feet. That's an absolute crush for a Berg. We actually might be able to get the birdie here. We're only about 160 away from the basket. I think I'm gonna go forehand flex here. Missed my gap, but that is parked for a birdie. I'm gonna give it another little bit here. This is another uphill par 4, so we're just gonna chuck this thing as hard as we really can. That's actually a phenomenal shot. I'm not even joking. I think this disc just made the bag. This thing, I'm really impressed with it. It flies so nice. So we're a little bit pinched off here. We're gonna have to throw probably a big hyzer. I think I'm gonna have to give it some height and push this foliage here just to make sure that we get enough swing, because I know this thing isn't gonna skip. I like that angle a lot. I think that's a putt. We're gonna run it with a forehand because why not? Elevated basket. Give some trust to the Berg. Hole 9. We're just gonna throw both of these and I'm gonna rip them hard on a backhand just so you can really see the differences between the two flights. I'm gonna start with this one. I really tried to rip that and I yanked it to the right, but it still is just, that thing is just beef. All right, now for the regular. So much straighter. So much straighter. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, they actually ended up about 15, 20 feet apart. Throwing this disc for your upshot, it kind of takes the stress out of having to get your angle perfect or having your speed perfect, because it kind of just gets to the basket and dies, which is awesome. If somebody asks me to summarize this disc in one sentence, all I would say is better Berg. This is just the better version of this. This is the perfected version of this. This disc is what I have wanted the Berg to be for a very long time. If you can't tell, I'm very excited about this disc because it is rare for me to throw a disc one round and put it in my bag. Like, that doesn't really happen. I am surprised by this disc and I'm shocked with how much I love this disc.